Come on, man. What?
Shannon Nicole, where culture meets context. The Realist Lounge, hosted by Shannon Nicole, where culture meets context. The Realist Lounge, hosted by Shannon Nicole, where culture meets.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Realist Lounge. I am your host, Shannon Nicole, and tonight's conversation is definitely not surface level, but we're going to go ahead and get into it because it's necessary that we have this conversation. But first, let me make sure that I introduce you all to my panel, but I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves first.
Unapologetically G, what up, y'all?
What up?
Boo, also known as Unplugged FYM on all platforms.
All right. My guest here we have is Blackjack American. Say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody.
We got Tony L. Say hello to the people.
What's up, everybody?
And then we got Shani D. Now, all these people are coming from different sides. Shani D is in my hometown. What is our hometown, Shani D?
Naptown, baby.
Naptown. So we got a good panel coming on today, but so we just asking real questions like, can we actually live together in this country? Or are we just coexisting? Are we just tolerating each other? Because it's so much divisive narratives that's going on right now. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure that you all see right now what's going on when it comes to this whole protest yesterday that we had, well, day before yesterday, whenever the hell it was. As you can see, it's already a fart in the wind. Don't nobody know. These motherfuckers is mad every goddamn week about some shit. But are we really just coexisting? We got different races, cultures, histories, and perspectives in this room. And tonight, we're going to talk about it. So the ground rules, just so we could make sure that we all do this respectfully. I got respectful people on here, so I really don't have to worry about it. But just to respect, like, let's make sure that we don't try to talk over each other. You know what I'm saying? If somebody says something you disagree with and you want to interject, just put your hand up. And then that way we pass the mic over to you. We know we got a lot of people that's coming in. I think I got like 2 other people that's coming in. So I just want to make sure that everybody is able to get their point across with whatever we're talking about in that prompt. Respect. Everybody understand that? We good? I think Jem and Lou just came in the building. What's up, Jem and Lou?
Yo, what's good? How my comms? Mic check.
Welcome. We appreciate you for steaming through. We just waiting to see if anybody else is coming because I have one more person on the way, but we're just gonna go ahead and dive into it. All right, so let's just start with unity here. What does unity actually mean to you, Blackjack?
I want to be unified with anybody that understands the difference between good versus evil, because that's what it all boils down to. Are somebody's actions good or are they evil? You guys are good people. I want to be here with you. I always want to surround myself with good people.
I like that. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, I think unity is pretty much what we already see in everyday life when people aren't just constantly being influenced by social media and a heavily propagandized media. I mean, if you think about it, most Americans, we do coexist, right? And we cooperate with each other just fine. But I would say that the problem is that what we see often on the screen doesn't reflect reality. And, you know, we tend to bring that virtual world and everything we see in entertainment to fruition in the real world. And that's what I think is really happening.
Absolutely. What you think, G?
I agree with Jack. It's a good and you understand what is good and what is evil, then that's who I want to be unified with. That's the unity I want to have. And I also agree with the young man that just spoke about that it's perpetuated in the media. That's not real life. I go outside. I never have altercation about me being a black woman, ever. Not ever. Nobody ever puts that before me and says, or I get accosted by a white person because I'm black. I don't have those issues. I get along with everybody. And so I think it's a perpetuation of what we see on television, what they can grasp as a community, make us believe. But in regular life, I think it should just be good versus evil. You a good person or you're not.
I love that. I appreciate that. That's the real shit. Sean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I agree with that as well. But to expand on it, it's like unifying against or for certain issues as well. So, like, what do we come together? The issue can be different issues, but when you come together for something or against something, I always look at it from that perspective as well. And a lot of times it feels like Tony said, the propaganda machine designs what people are against, which gives the referendum of if you're against that, then you can't be for this.
Right.
So it can be confusing on just the whole super simple word of unity, but super blurry lines because of the issues. There's so many things to worry about. What are you supposed to worry about? Well,
Right.
what does your family tell you to worry about? And you should be worried about this. So it gets really deep and confusing for me personally, the word unity. But I agree with the premise 100%. Good versus evil, 100%.
Right. Fool?
Unfortunately, I just think we're in a spot where they always show us the extremes on sides, never what goes on in the middle, because we agree on a lot of things. So the unification, it's actually there, but it's like they're force feeding the divisiveness, and that's what we have to fight through. And to be honest with you, honestly, I think the reason why I was better when we was younger was because it was only on TV. Social media makes it worse. It's a difference because it's a fight between us showing the truth and them showing what they want to show. That's where the dichotomy of it, of what's going on. But they're mad because we're able to fix it. I think they hate that.
Yeah.
I think they hate that like with a passion. But we're doing a hell of a job because boots on the ground is what it is, and just having conversations with people, and conversations like this is when we're gonna pretty much fix the issue. Excuse me, we're gonna fix what they're doing their best to put out there. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. I agree. What's up, Jamie Lou?
How you doing, sweetheart? What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are doing well. Um, I texted a couple. I'm not sure if I was able to air this live on my TikTok, but I was actually going live, so it's actually airing. So we'll be able to get some backdoor information to our people who follow us and whatnot to give insight in regards to some of the things that we, talk about behind the scenes, what we talk about uh, on lives and so on and so forth, and how we are real with our peeps. And this is just kind of a brainstorming idea about how we can actually unify in messaging moving forward and getting ideas, because it's not only us on these panels, it's also has to do with what it is that we got for our following and those that we talk to every day. But in regards to unity, I've always had a military mindset in regards to this. It's difficult to unify with individuals who are not on the same page. And I really wish that we could get back to the acceptance of our disagreements, of things that we may not agree on, but keep moving forward. I think we've lost sight of that. We've lost sight of that, not only because of social media, but just in general from mainstream media, and how we have to think a certain type of way. We must all be on the same page. We got to do this. And listen, that's exactly what the left does.
Yeah.
That's what the left does. See, we can all agree and disagree on certain things, but does that mean I turn my back on you? No, it doesn't. So, in my opinion, in regards to moving forward, this is just where I'm at with it. We all should be on the same page in that, like, that Tony's, Sean, I mean, everybody, Blackjack, they may have a different view, but that don't mean I'm going to turn my back on them.
Right.
Overall picture, we need to see the overall picture of things and not lose sight of that. And that's just what I hope we can get back to. That's just my opinion.
Pretty, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Based on what Jamin just said, We got two, we got 6, 7 people on this live right now. We can have a conversation and we may end up disagreeing on something. But in the 5 minutes after disagreeing, we won't be on social media saying, yo, don't get down with them. They said this, that, whatever. Like, there's no cancel, that bullshit ass cancel culture when it comes to us because we're adults. When you factor in the other side, as soon as you go against whatever they believe, whatever the talking point is, now you're against. This is about progress,
Yeah.
solutions, and things like that. And that's where we have to get back to when you can have a married couple, one person is a Republican and one person is a Democrat, and they love each other and live with each other, but can disagree about politics. Those days, I'm not gonna say they're gone. They make it seem like it's not possible.
Yeah.
When you got people saying I could never be married to them or get involved, but they are liberal or stop it. They're human.
Yeah, facts. That's so crazy because I literally remember, because see, I didn't vote for Trump the first time. I didn't vote at all. I didn't know who to vote for because I was just so torn, because I'm like, okay, I don't really trust Hillary, and the media is telling me that I should hate Trump. I'm literally just coming off of this hangover of Obama and his horrible second term. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to even go back to the Democrat Party right now. So I'm gonna like sit this one out. And my first time voting for Trump in 2020, I literally sat in the living room with my Democrat auntie, she was 80 around that time. And we sat there just fine. She knew I voted for Trump. And we sat there and we laughed. We watched the debates. We laughed about the fly in Mike Pence's hair. She told her concern about how she couldn't stand Trump, and I was talking about but it never made us fall out. Like, we didn't have no problem. So it seems as if like over the last few years we've developed a herd mentality when it comes to the Democrats. The way that they're coming down on Chile right now with TLC is crazy.
Now, this goes into what I said. When it comes to the sellout thing, is that political or is it race? Because which one is it?
It's whatever they want to make it at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's whatever they want to make it at the time. And do you remember when we were in school, they used to teach conflict resolution during brainstorming? They don't even teach these things to people anymore. So we're not even learning the foundational basis of being a human being in a world with other human beings, right?
Yeah.
So on top of the examples that they put in front of us it's conflict. It's no resolution. It's just straight conflict. I don't like you, like Fu said. As soon as you don't agree with them, it's screw you, forget you, you the devil, you all these things, you a fascist, you a coon. So many things, right? So I mean, but that's the example that we're setting for our children and college children to come up and not get the conflict resolution that, learning that in school, and then you see on the television that it's okay to do that. Politicians do it every day. Famous people do it every day. So we're teaching this now.
Do you all think that maybe the shutdown kind of set us up for that?
Yeah.
It kind of made it easier. I mean, and like just thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it right now, it made it easier for them to not only hypnotize us into being a specific type of way or thinking a specific type of way when it comes to politics, but I feel like that gave them the chance for them to show that we could grab these people if we move them away from the crowd.
That's why it was the greatest psyop ever created. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
You muted. Turn your mic on.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to make any noise in my background disturbing anybody. But yeah, I was just saying that I think one of the biggest contributing factors is that we spend so much time on a screen whether it's on your phone, whether it's, watching TV, news, movies, whatever. And we're not really outside anymore like we used to be. And
Yeah.
so it's very easy to continue to instill certain imagery into people's minds, especially our children. So yes, when we went through the lockdowns and they locked our kids in the house and they had them all doing all this remote learning, we know that most of our kids, they fell back like 2 years or more
Yeah.
in education. So, and I honestly think that this is intentional, because the more you dumb down a society, the more you make them docile, the more you disconnect them from real people in the real world, the easier it is to guide their way of thinking and even gear them towards what we see today, which is politics of grievance. Everything, you're pissed off, you're a victim about everything. Somebody's doing something to you. So this collectivist mindset is easily instilled into our children, where they blame, and not even just our children, honestly, because it's adults too. It's social media in general, where you blame the outcome of your life on the collective, on everyone else. There's no more sense of accountability anymore. And that's one of the major problems that we're dealing with. And just to land real quick, like, you got to listen to what these people are saying.
Yeah.
And I live here in New York City. I live in Brooklyn, New York. And when Zoran Mamdani, who is one of the main faces of the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, said that we want to get rid of rugged individualism and embrace the warmth of collectivism. Bro, I don't think people understand like the danger that is ahead. And so I think we need to start like reestablishing reconnecting with people and reconnecting with our children, and start, training them up and not allowing them to be indoctrinated, not even just from the school system, but just everything that we're seeing around us.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. What's up, sis? We have a joiner.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Gen X. Welcome,
How are y'all?
welcome, everyone. We're doing good. We're talking about, well, we started out the conversation talking about what unity is to us. In your opinion, like what do you think unity, like define unity for you, and what does it mean to you?
Well, I was reading the other day, and somebody that I was reading hit it on the head that people have turned their political ideology into their sense of self. So because our political ideologies are a lot of times so far apart on the things we deem important, it's hard to unify if someone's identity is their political ideology. It's just hard to I'm old enough to remember when we just didn't talk about politics. We went and voted, and that was that. And then you could just hang with anybody because you didn't know their business. Now people want to make that every bit of who they are. And so when you don't agree with them, it feels like a personal attack. It feels like you're going after them as a person because they've made that who they are instead of just something they believe. And so I wish we could get back to when your political ideology was a belief, not an identity. And will we ever get back there? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the first segment, but I'm gonna go to the comments first. Let's see, like this one. The dangers that's ahead, what will happen tomorrow morning, next week, next month, next year. I don't understand what you were saying on that one, but all right. Someone right here said it wasn't the pandemic. Hell no, black folks always been this way. The world is competition on full tilt. And I feel like that comments like this is the reason why we're having this conversation right now, because it's generalizing a race based on what you may have experienced or who you may be as an individual. Because I'm not going to give you my whole bio, but let me break it down to you real fast. I grew up in Gary, Indiana. I was born in Gary, Indiana, one of the most dangerous cities in this country, in 1982. I grew up around nothing but, I was raised with nothing but black people. All right. It was no Hispanics, no whites or nothing. And we had a seemingly positive experience despite all the poverty that was going on around us. We didn't have the gang violence. We didn't have we didn't have too much that you see nowadays. Gary was on a fall, but it wasn't as bad as it is right now. Right now, you don't even want to drive through Gary on a regular day. That's Gary. We ended up moving when I was 10 to East Chicago, Indiana, which is like a Latino version of Gary. So my all black neighborhood became full of blacks and Latinos and Latinas. And some of my best friends growing up were Hispanics. They were Mexican. They were Puerto Rican. Their moms and their dads probably didn't speak as much English, but I didn't know. I didn't care. Camilla was my homegirl. The tamales was fire, okay? This was my friend. When they had the Mexican and the Puerto Rican parade, let me tell you, Suave Mente to this day, play that shit right now, and everybody in East Chicago who's a millennial and Gen X is going to be Suave. Besa, besa, man. We love the corn, man. This is what we grew up with. And when I moved to Indianapolis, that was my introduction to white people because I didn't have no white people in East Chicago. And they welcomed me with open arms. When I worked at Cracker Barrel, my entire staff was nothing but white people. And they showed me so much love the entire time. And then I met people like Sean D. And then I met people like Radamez. And then like it became a blended culture. Nobody was talking about no fucking liberals, no Democrats, no Republicans, no conservatives. We didn't care. That was old people shit. All we was doing was making music. Am I lying, Sean D? That's all we was doing. Now it's to the point to where you can't even be an individual in your own family, bro. Okay. Sorry, my boyfriend. But it's the point that we can't even be an individual in our own family, in our own relationships. People's relationships failed, white or black or Latino. I'm sure Luke could say, I know you probably was getting a lot of hate from the Latino community when you voted for Trump. Am I right?
Yeah, I did, but I wasn't worried about it.
We didn't care.
You know why? You know why I wasn't worried about it? Because I remembered an old saying, like, you never forget where you come from, and always remember you need to learn how to die on your feet than live on your knees. And I never forgot the strength of my ancestors. I never forgot what our culture was about. I never forgot about any of that. And I think that's why I get the hate that I get sometimes from certain individuals, because it's a hard pill to swallow whenever you have to admit you're weak and soft.
Yeah.
You know, or you're conforming to an ideology and whitewashing culture, if you will, which is what they claim I am guilty of. But yet look at how they treat me, because I've never treated them that way. I accept them for who they are. I just never forgot where I came from.
Dang, that's kind of, I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that, because we're actually about to go into our next segment, which is about identity and perception. So when it comes to identity and perception, let's talk about identity. Like, I'm gonna start with you, Lou. Like, what does being black, white, or Latino mean to you? Not society. You as a Latino, like, what does that mean to you as just an individual person, as a Latino man? As a Latino man, not a conservative. We're gonna remove that out of it. Just as you.
Well, just for me in general, I never really thought of the color of my skin, or, you know, like what my family heritage is, because all they ever taught me was you're American. You know, like Tommy and Roddy and Timmy were just as equally hard for me as Jose, Hoseby, and Jose, as Rome, as so many of my other family that were grown up in the community. But through filters of life, this is what I have learned, because I keep it a buck. I ain't got more hate from people that look like me ever before, but I've got more support from people that don't look like me. And that's the part that baffles me sometimes, man, because I'm like, wait a minute, how are you talking about we need to be raza, we need to be, you know, like viva la raza, but yet you willing to push me off a bridge because I don't think like you? Meanwhile, you got Timmy and Tommy over here willing to invest in my small businesses. You got them willing to like advocate for me, like have my back and all these other things. Like, come on now, don't go there. So I've never really paid attention to any of that other stuff, and here's why. Because I was brought up with a group of community who everybody was invited to the barbecue. When my grandmother died, it was so mixed with so many people there, white people there, black people there, Asian people there. Because my mom looked at everybody, not my mom, oh, we call her mom, my grandmother, my nana, she looked at everybody like they were her children. It didn't matter the melanin in your skin or lack thereof. But we got away from those days. And now it's like so important to push that out in the forefront and be a victim about it. No, man. I remember the strength of my ancestors.
Yeah. Respect. Tony?
Whoa.
Oh.
Do you hear that feedback?
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, somebody has their fan on.
Oh, yeah. So the question was basically, what does it mean to be black?
To be black, white, Latino, like what does that mean to you, like not society?
I mean, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of all the, the struggles of my ancestors, but at the same time, I don't allow those things to keep me in a space that allows others to use me for an agenda of division. And
you don't let it cripple you. You don't use it as a handicap.
Right. And I think a lot of people have done that. I think, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of black people today don't even know what it is to be black, because I think so many other people have infiltrated our movements, our civil rights movements, our culture, that we don't even know what it is. I mean, you got black people out there right now who are telling white people that it's okay to call black people the N-word, like Touré. I mean, you got all of these so-called social justice warriors out there. We used to have civil rights leaders, but now they're called social justice leaders. I mean, just think about it. They're glorified influencers. And I think these are the people that we've unfortunately allowed to shape our culture. And so the real question is, what is our culture? What is it to be black? Because I've seen black people tell a brother who's light-skinned that he ain't black because he doesn't go along with the hive mind mentality. So what exactly makes someone pure enough to be black? Is Rachel Dolezal black because she fits the I don't know, the certain agenda, but she just happens to paint herself brown? Like, is Sean King black, even though we know he's white, but he uses a lot of the lingo and he pimps the struggle of black people? So because of the grievance that he likes to peddle in, he's black. But somebody like me, I'm not black because I push back against the orthodoxy that has been inbred, that has been trained, indoctrinated into so many of us, that is so preoccupied with the gaze of other groups that we're not focusing on the things that we need to do. So what the real question is, what is it to be black?
Yeah. And don't forget, you ain't black if you didn't vote for Biden. Don't forget. Let's go with Awaken Gen X. Like, what does it mean for you being a white woman? Like, what does that mean for you in not society?
She hires me to do her roof. Sorry.
I am in the construction industry, Lou. So, that's a possibility.
Don't worry, I tell her don't.
I couldn't help it. I love you.
Don't worry, I tell her don't put the greens in the tub. That's just what I do.
Yeah, I need that advice. Y'all are killing me. Y'all threw my whole thought process off. It didn't take too much to get those two brain cells going sideways there. No, I don't know as far as a white woman in society. I mean, certain things I function one way, but for me, it's been more of a female in a complete male industry my whole entire life. I've never worked in a quote unquote female job. I've always, and I'm 56 and I've been doing it since 18. I've never gone that route, that an office job and sitting at a desk. I've been an aircraft mechanic. I've been a project manager for a construction firm, and now I own a company in the construction industry. So I've always kind of fought back against what it was that we as females of my age group were led to believe that we were supposed to do. And the older I get, the easier, believe it or not, it becomes to hold those jobs, because we're a lot more accepted in those industries now than we were when I started back in the 80s. So, you know, for me, it's been more of a fight where the sexes are concerned, not necessarily where the color of my skin has been concerned. So that's just me.
Love that. G, unapologetically G, you here with us?
I am. I'm here, and we touched on this a little bit
I know.
in last week's show about me, and so I come from two backgrounds of African American, affluent African American, and then German on my father's side, and so um, I did not have an identity. I never led with I'm a black woman. I just was always a woman. I was always a girl. It wasn't instilled in me to be that, but I did have the issue of class, right? I was taught very early not to hang around people who were not successful or intelligent or educated, right? So that's another stigma. There's a class stigma as well, outside of just the identity of being black or white. There are also other factors that separate us, and those were the ones that were instilled in me. So I don't have the identity of, I have a struggle because I'm a black person, or white man is bad. I never grew up like that. I never saw that in my life. Maybe because that's how the brain works. It's what you focus on is what you see, and what you identify with. And I never had the opportunity, or I take that back, because it's unfortunate that you have to lead with I'm an identity first before I'm a person. I'm a human being. So I never had that. Almost like, I believe his name is Lou. Almost like Lou said, I knew what I was, and I knew what my background was. I knew what was instilled in me, but I didn't lead with that. I don't go out and show the world that first. I go out and lead from the inside out. I don't lead from the outside in.
I like that. What about you, Fool? You on? Yeah, I'm mute, but
It's never been like that for me, that race was first, because like I said, y'all know I say it all the time. I'm born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. So being in Newark, it's what they say it is, that you go over there, that you don't want to go up there because the cops gonna pull you over, this, that, whatever. Did you have to deal with that? Yes. But once again, in that area, they don't want your ass over there. They just don't want you over there. That's just what it is. And then for me, caddying on the golf course since I was 16 years old, I learned about class early, because then you kind of see it ain't about the race, it's about the money.
It is.
That money dynamic is where it is, and then you start to see the inroads. And then if the people with the money love you, you're good. And then you start to see those people that you kind of taught in certain instances to hate or not like, they show you more love than the cats that live around the corner from you.
Yeah,
and
that's
I was
true.
like, damn. And then when you move down south, you really see it. Because I keep it a buck. From what I've noticed, when a white person fuck with you, they love you. They gonna stick up for you more than anybody else. And then you start questioning, like, damn, I get more love and respect from over here, but this cat over here, they calling me all types of names, and I grew up with them. So that's why I look at things somewhat differently. And my whole thing is, what's your character? Show me who you are as an individual. Because you ain't got to be racist. You might just be an asshole. So that to me is just what it is. And I keep it moving, because growing up, like I said, I'm born in 76. Ain't nothing held me back but me. I ain't never been held back by nothing except me.
Heavy on the asshole. Heavy. I'm talking about ton heavy on the asshole. Go ahead, Shandi. I seen your hand was up. Hold on, let me
and
see if I
myself. So most people don't know that, and we never really talked about race because it was like nationality, and growing up around a family that doesn't even speak English, it was already confusing for me my whole life. And then I
what hold on real quick. What language do
Polish,
your family speak?
it's Polish, so you're gonna
Polish.
look and say white, but it was always confusing to me. I'm like, we're Polish, like we get picked on too. Like it doesn't make sense. Like why are we getting boxed? You see, so I had a whole totally different dynamic that most people don't even know about. I grew up in Hallville, rough,
The hood.
and I was the minority.
Yeah.
So it didn't. It's totally different for me, and I grew later, like a couple other people were touching. It's not the skin color; it's class that matters most. And it took me years and years to start to figure that out. And like he said, when people fuck with you and they see your content of character, they fuck with you. It don't matter what color you are. I learned that later, but I was raised to feel sorry for myself. It took years for me to step back and see like poverty mindset. And I noticed one of our topics, black fatigue. For me, it's ghetto fatigue. That's deeper. That's deeper because it's not color.
That's right.
It's how you represent yourself. Who do you want to be? Not who are you who you think you need to act like. Who do you think you need to be like? Who do you think you need to hang around? Who do you want to be? You can be anything you want to be. And it took me many years to figure that out. Like I was very ignorant because I was raised. Feel sorry for yourself. Find a way to get a check. Find a way to get a check. It took me years to break. And if you know me in real life, I'm so like every day is like the training montage for Rocky Ford for me. I am a workaholic, gymaholic, nonstop grindaholic, nonstop. But I was raised to feel sorry for myself. So it took me years to break into identity. Being white is what everybody else would call me. But it did never make sense to me. Like when you go fill out an application and it makes you diversify yourself, or immediately have to pick.
Yeah.
I never understood that. I'm like, where's Polish?
Yeah.
Too. Where's Irish? They were slaves too. They don't have a class. Why is everything divided? I never understood that. So that's a really deep topic to me that I don't ever get to talk about because I can't play victim of, oh, I'm Polish, so who am I going to complain to?
Right.
Who do I get sympathy? And I ain't asking for sympathy, So that was really deep for me. It's like the world classifies and wants you to be divided, of course, divide and conquer. For me, the biggest identity crisis is like good and bad. Am I a good person fighting these demons? I just want to be a good person. I'm not identifying with my skin tone. Of course, you have to in America. I do get systemically a benefit. I mean, it's just, it just is what it is. But at the grand scheme, what's bigger than that? You versus yourself, not you versus society. So I've always had a really deep struggle with that, with the identity. Like I grew up in the hood. Am I supposed to be hood? Does that mean you're acting black? Does that mean see? This is some deep stuff.
Yeah.
You mature later. Does that mean now you've matured out of the hood, so now you're acting white? That still don't make sense. It still don't make sense. It's just for me, they nailed it. It's class.
Yeah.
It's class. But they want us to fight and divide over skin color, which you can't control. You are who you are, but they want you to fight over that because they know you can't control that. That you can control yourself, your character, your diet, your fitness, your health. You can control all that, but they don't want to talk about all that. They want us to be mad at each other.
Yeah, I see Fu had his hand up. I think he wanted to elaborate. That was some real shit you just said, and I feel like you've been wanting to say that.
I have.
And I'm glad, like this is what these conversations are for, because I feel like that we we have so much that we be wanting to say to each other, but like we don't know how to say it, or we don't know how to put it out there to where we don't offend another person
Right.
when it comes to race, these conversations. So I'm glad that you took the time to be on my platform and that you were able to get this off. That makes me feel like that these conversations are going to help us heal from a lot. Go ahead, Fu.
He said something.
See?
He said something that answered the question about when did shit start. Think about this. It used to be Polish, Irish, Scottish, Italian, whatever you were, you were. Then they wanted to come up with their categories.
Color.
They never, when we see what's the name, we see black / African American. That shit don't say white / Italian or they real. When I say they slick with this shit, it's gangster. Remember, I always say I don't want to hear that people of color shit because you want to lump everybody in. What they don't do, they don't say people of non-color. They don't say that shit. They written and they real slick, and then factor in that other subset. You got Lou who's Mexican. You got Mexicans that are passed as white. The Mexicans know, but the white people don't. Because motherfuckers want to assimilate. That's the fucking issue. Instead of assimilating, be who the fuck you are. Period. And that's and we always talk about this. What they've done is infiltrated the community and they've taken away authenticity. Mm-hmm. Because they want to make everything their monolith. Not their monolith. And then you have people that fall into that. I guarantee you, if Shannon number 2, Awake Gen X, were to go somewhere like a California or a Maine or something like that, and she start talking, every white person is going to look at her differently because of her accent. And they're going to automatically lump her in a group. It's not going to matter. With us, we go somewhere, they scared to say whatever until we say something. But as soon as we happen to say anything that's for this administration, they're gonna be on attack mode. This is the shit that we gotta deal with. That's why I'm loving this conversation, because it's up to us to fix this shit. To fix with Trump fixing whatever he fixing from the previous administration, we gotta do the hard work and fix the shit that they did too. And it's not gonna be easy.
I think may I?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's important to remember something, right, in regards to class versus race. Class don't care if you got an X case of you're a felony or not. If you can make money, they'll break bread with you. Here's one thing I noticed. You have more entrepreneurs coming out of the prison system, regardless if they're white, black, brown, Indian, Asian, man, woman, gay, straight. If they got an idea, rich people will fuck with you. They'll rub elbows with you. They'll make money with you, break bread with you. You get invited to all the rich spots. I'm not an ex-con. I'll tell y'all that right now. But I've been to Mar-a-Lago, Trump National Doral, invited to the White House. I'm from the projects. All because I never backed down. I never got told you can't speak on shit. There's people that are real as hell and they recognize real. Right? We all know that. If you're from the block, you know what that means. You know that you're not going to fold under questioning. You know, you said you were Italian, something like that. We know how y'all don't like rats and shit. You know, but same thing goes in other cultures as well. See, here's the issue. It was never about race. It was never about what you look like. It was never about any of that. It was about what you have to bring to the table. And the minute you limit yourself, you're then turning around and confiding. You actually become the biggest tap dancer for the system or the white man you can't stand. And Shannon, you know I love you, sweetheart. If you want to go two-stepping, I'll show you. Gen X, we can make it happen. I'll show you how to two-step the right way. Okay. But that's just the thing. As a Gen Xer, man, we almost had this stuff stomped out. We almost did. Because everybody was invited to the barbecues, the quinceañeras, the birthday parties, the sweet 16s. We were all invited. Mm-hmm. But if you look at it now, you even got the hoods You got the barrios, you got the projects more interracially integrated today than they have ever been. You got snow bunnies in the jacks. You got you got snow bunnies picking up tortas and shit at your favorite carniceria. You know what I mean? And that is because now it's become a normal thing. But how is race still pushed at the forefront to divide us, even though we know it's not? It's because it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
We just got to wake our people up to it. And that's just real talk.
Facts. Quick, fun, crazy thing. I first of all, like Shandi, I never knew you were Polish. This is what I'm saying. Like when we see each other, I just know this is you're a white guy, but he cool as shit. Like it was never about race when I used to see him because he used to DJ, and I don't know if you all knew. Like back in the day, I used to rap. You know what I mean? So a lot of that's what I used to do. That's how I met Shandi. Um, do you know that more Polish immigrants were in Gary than black people at one point?
Yeah, my family came from Chi-Town, so
Yeah. Like Gary was all Polish people at one
Yeah.
point. And then when the Great Migration came, they it was white flight. And they all kind of left Gary and moved to Maryville. They started moving further, like to Maryville and Cherville, and you know what I mean. I just thought that was kind of something I wanted to like. I didn't know that like it was an interesting concept. But even when it comes to white flight, when you hear about why that actually happened, do you know that people like the politicians were telling the homeowners that hey, there's going to be a bunch of black people that's about to come here. If you want to keep your rates, you need to know you might want to move. So it really starts with politics. I believe that at the top is where that all trickles down to us, to think a certain way, to be taught a certain way. In our schools, our school system teaches us to think a certain way. Like as somebody who lived around Latinos, I will never understand for the life of me why Spanish wasn't something that was always taught to everybody. Like you had to fight to be in a Spanish class. I would have loved to have taken Spanish so that way I would be better prepared today for what we have right now. But I didn't know that. So I think that it definitely has a lot to do with the system at the top that controls the narrative, the social construct of race, and why they make the color really all about class. Because that was the whole point. When they bought all of the European slaves over here in the early 1700s, there was no white, there was no black. Either you were from Poland, either you were from Ireland, either you were from Scotland, Angola, since everybody likes to talk about Anthony Johnson nowadays, that's been a big conversation. And then they had to figure out a way to put us against each other because we were mixing.
Yeah.
So they was like, okay, well, we're gonna make sure that white, that's the top of the food chain, and anybody that can identify with that, they get these and this and that and that. But we got to make sure that the black people know that they are the superior power. And we look today, and there's white poor people, black poor people, white, like one of the poorest cities in the country is in Kentucky, the Appalachian Mountains, where it's majority of white people that live there, and they are poor than your worst hood in an inner city. But we don't hear about that because the politicians don't talk about it. So this is why it's important for us to unlearn what we think we may know when it comes to race. Because truthfully, if your family was here in the like 1700s, 9 times out of 10, you probably mixed. They just classified you as another race because of your skin complexion. I could look at Gen X and tell that she got Native American and black in her somewhere. It's there. I could tell. I could tell. What's going on, Jen? What's up, unapologetically G? Like, how do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like that you got to speak and represent for your entire race?
No, because remember, I don't even identify. They don't want me over there anyway because they think I'm too much of something for them, and then I get along better with people that are not black, right? And so it's just a thing because I'm intimidating to them because somebody has told them it's a space for them and they got to stay in that space. So, you know, if anybody's outside of that circle, then I'm different from them, kind of.
Yeah.
But I do want to touch on what Lou said, because Gen X has squashed this. This was done. And the only thing that came and interrupted that was the internet.
Yeah.
And it was a setup system. It's a psychological agenda. It's a psychological experiment, just like America is an experiment. But they have definitely figured out our brain patterns. They have figured out what to trigger us with, what to make us believe. Just like AI, they brought in the AI so that real and fake cannot be distinguishable. These things is set up for us to be in these spaces. And if you are not strong enough in your mind, you will easily get caught up in this stuff again. But we were almost done with this. This wasn't even a thing in Gen X. We went outside and played with everybody. Nobody
Yeah.
said, hey, you white, you black. No, we just went and played with everybody. It wasn't even a thing. And so it was almost done. And that was a threat to a whole situation. That was a threat to them. And so the only thing they can do, if you look up, there was a company that was a psychological warfare company. We will have to come back to it again. But there was a company that the day that
The
they
crazy part with this black
dissolved,
fatigue.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I
okay,
don't know how that happened.
the day that they dissolved, the very next day or that same day, Facebook was created. And so there is a whole underlying thing with that. I believe that the internet is doing a psychological game with us at this point.
Yes. Yes.
You talk about MySpace?
I agree.
No, it was a governmental psychological experimental company. We'll have to come back to. I'm so sorry I did not write it down when I saw it and read about it.
Oh man.
But it's I will look it up while we're looking at this video.
Yeah, because like I swear to you, I feel like that I feel like that we are literally Squid Games. If you ever watch the show Squid Games, if you ever watch that series, it's really good on Netflix. It's gory as hell.
Sis, before you play that video, I got a question for Tony.
Yeah.
Tone, you in New York. You know, I'm from Jersey or whatever. I've always said growing up, going over there, New York was the ultimate melting pot.
Yeah.
And with it being the melting pot, from what I saw, there was always just interactions. From what you've seen, when did that shit get fractured? Or is it just an illusion? Because it seemed like that shit fucked up there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. In New York, there's been racial division in New York for a while. I mean, you're usually gonna find something like that. You're gonna find those types of conditions in, let's be honest, primarily Democrat-run locales. And you know, I grew up, you know, bro, I'm Gen X. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the early 70s. So
yeah,
you know, I grew up in a time where there was like a lot of heightened racial tensions. You know, when the whole Central Park 5 thing happened, like they were the same age as me. You know what I'm saying? I used to go out wilding in the park like them. So what I'm saying is, I think how do I say this? I think because I grew up in a different generation, I'm not as easily triggered by a lot of the stuff that they're putting out there today. Like we grew up, like we witnessed real racism, right?
Yeah.
But we also witnessed the unity. Like we were still cool with the white boys, with the Hispanics or whoever. Like it was all good. It's just that nowadays they're creating this environment where everybody believes that everyone hates you. They're convincing everybody of every race, every sexual orientation, everything, that you're a victim and everybody hates you. And there's a fight for justice that you must engage in. And it has a psychological impact on so many people where everyone is frustrated. Everybody is just paranoid and neurotic. I mean, that's why you see like astronomical levels of mental illness. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just think we're creating an environment largely propagated by the media, our politicians, social media, bots, all of this stuff. Like we have so much inundating us that it's hard for us to focus on the real world. Like, come on, you go outside, you see your neighbor, hey, morning. You know, they might have voted for Trump. They might have voted for who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? You got family members. Shit, we argue about politics all the time. I'm talking about knockout, drag out fights, but we still going to Thanksgiving dinner together. We drinking a bit. So it's like we've been taught now that if someone disagrees with you, then all of a sudden they are your enemy. If someone looks different than you, they are your enemy and they did something to you. And I think that's what it is. We're creating this generation of people that are so emotionally unstable, and everybody's like taking anxiety pills and shit. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, we're breeding a very weak generation. So when we talk about race and racial division, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Look, man, I know a lot of white people that's treated me a lot better than a lot of black people I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All it took was for me to say, yo, I'm voting for Donald Trump, because and all of a sudden I became all types of coons, all types of Uncle Tom, even though they don't understand the proper context. You know what I'm saying? So I just think race has been used as this weapon to divide people for so long, and people just can't see the play. And there's a very specific minority that continues to benefit from this, while we continue to look at each other. You look at your neighbor, you look at your friend. Oh, they're my enemy, and we're fighting each other, while that very small minority continues to profit and benefit from the collective dysfunction. Do I have an echo?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. So, good point, Shaw. First of all, I just want to say thank you again to everybody in the chat. Make sure you all show some love to these amazing guests that I have on here. They're all heavy hitters on social media right now. So we just want to say thank you so much for everybody that's taking the time out of their Monday to sit with us and partake in this important conversation. But I really wanted to step into Black fatigue. We all know.
All right.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I got.
I'm guilty. When I first heard about Black fatigue, I understood it. I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of niggas too. I'm kind of tired of them. But it was, but we as Black Americans, we know that we have a problem group of people. It's like that in any community, any race. But I feel like that certain people kind of just got out of control when it comes to Black fatigue. I feel like it's been an overused, overrun conversation, and it really kind of pissed me off even more because it's our own people on our side that's saying it.
Ooh, yeah. Can I start this one when you done? No, go ahead.
Yes, I'm gonna play this video first because this video right here, this was a creator that I followed. I followed her. I loved what she was doing when we were trying to get Trump in office. And I was so disappointed because she has continuously built her platform talking about this very shit right here. It went from her just mainly talking about getting Trump in office to her coming down on Black people. Not ghetto Black people.
Oh, her?
Not liberal Black people. She's made several videos just to check, because I don't know if you all understand when you say Black people, you're talking about an entire community of people.
Uh-oh.
You're not just talking about a specific group of people that you may see that may happen to look Black, and you don't even know if they're Black. You understand what I'm saying? Hell, I just found out Shani D was Polish. Didn't know that. But do I sit here and generalize every single white person based upon some weird racist shit that I see online? No, I don't. I call them out. I tag them for their behavior. But I feel like a lot of people on the conservative side, y'all have gotten a little too fucking comfortable. And you don't understand that without our help, we wouldn't have had Trump in office. Without Lou and his people, you wouldn't have had Trump in office. So y'all need to tread very lightly. And this is a warning to all of y'all asses, including her. You could tag her. I don't care. Y'all need to tread very lightly about saying this shit that this lady's been saying, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be making America great again. And a lot of y'all are causing even more division than the fucking liberals are. And it's sad. It's really sad. This really pissed me off. I'm sorry I got upset because this hurt my feelings, y'all, when I saw this. I was like, why would you say this, ma'am? Check it
Hear
out.
you 10 hours away in Walmart. Black fatigue is when I can hear you 10 hours away in Walmart with your 5 fucking kids. Black fatigue is when you have no home training and you have no idea how to act in public. And a lot of it is culture. I've been in the hood. I've been in the fucking schools and the projects where I was the only white girl there, and I can 100% guarantee you that it's culture. When majority of y'all know someone who has been unalived by another black person, way more than any instance of a black person being unjustifiably unalived by the police, that's black fatigue, as well as donating to Carmelo Anthony and Rodney Hinton Jr. When you aren't able to hold your own community accountable, that's a problem. We're not going to sit here and act like this is new now, because now white people are speaking out, especially when we've been told for so long to feel sorry for our whiteness and that we have white tea privilege, whatever the fuck that means, for something no white person alive today did and no black person alive today has experienced. There is no way that y'all thought that we would be quiet for this long. You know, having us on our knees, kissing BLM's feet, still begging for the reparations that you are not fucking owed because you did not go through what your ancestors went through. Nobody cared about race until you started blaming white people for all of your current problems. We're just untolerating. Fatigue is when I...
So you see my frustration and why I felt the way that I felt, because I get what you're saying and I get how you're feeling, but maybe that's your fucking experience. Maybe that's what you went through. And what was crazy to me is that we act as if there aren't white, Hispanic, Asian women who have 5 kids in Walmart that scream. I just saw some Latino ladies yesterday with 6 kids screaming in Walmart. So why the hell does ignorance have to classify as a race?
She only had 6 kids as a Latina? That's ridiculous. She needs to step her game up. The fuck?
But let me show you how
kidding.
liberal this is. Because liberals, we've always been known, they are always known to take something and make it their own. Like they took woke.
Took races. Took races.
Took races. They took woke. They like to flip. They're good with semantics. Am I lying?
Yeah.
They took woke and made it for them. Black fatigue was not created for you as a white person to use it towards black people, because black fatigue was actually made for you. And I get what you're saying. I understand we have problem areas in our community, but I felt like that this was a conversation, us as conservatives and us trying to unify and us trying to make America great again. We should never said no shit like that. It was just a poor representation for our group. Go ahead, Tony, because I know you want to say something.
Yeah, this whole topic of black fatigue, I think that it serves as an excuse to justify people to let out their latent racism. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? And here's the funny thing about it. A lot of the things that she's denouncing, these are things that have been indoctrinated in politically into a lot of black folks for like the past 80 years, I'd say, through ideological subversion and cultural Marxism. But here's the thing. Who are the purveyors of this? Right. Who are the people who are controlling the politics? You think black people control politics in this country? See, this is the problem that I have. Black people in this country have been used as political footballs that have been kicked across the field. We think that we're in the game, but we're not. We're just the tool that is being used. And the problem that I have with things like that, right? See, that chick, whatever, I don't really care about her. But what I want you to glean from this is a different perspective. I think that you're seeing a lot of white conservatives who are just fed up with always having race weaponized against them whenever they disagree with the political left, with their counterparts on the left. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a conservative, you say anything, even common sense. You're a homophobe, you're a transphobe, you're racist. Anything you say, many times it's common sense. And let me tell you something, as a black person in this country, I know that black people in this country live their lives like conservatives. But for some reason, we vote with liberals all the time. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I think the right has been so fed up And I think it's an emotional reaction from always having race weaponized against them. Instead of looking at the people who have strategically crafted this narrative, they're looking at the football. So they're seeing the football as the problem. They're hating the football, but they're not looking at those who are creating the entire narrative, who are indoctrinating people, who are creating this entire political environment for their benefit. And so when you get these videos by this chick who's out here talking about black fatigue, I mean, it's your racial hatred. But here's the thing that you got to understand, though. Donald Trump won this last election. It wasn't MAGA that put Donald Trump in office. It was the coalition that was built from Donald Trump's campaign, that it wasn't just MAGA. It was Democrats. It was independents. It was moderate Republicans. It was a whole bunch of people who were tired of the insanity of the political left.
Exactly.
So when you go around now, and this is the one problem that I have with Republicans, and I would say white conservatives. So I'm speaking to you now. If you ever want to be a politically viable entity in this country, and you truly want to stick to the core tenets of the real Republican Party, you're going to have to get better at your outreach to black people. Let me just tell you that, because you got the left telling y'all all the time, oh, they're racist. They're racist. Any black person that's over there, though, they just don't. It's expected that a black person who goes and votes Republican or mingles with Republican parties or white conservatives, that they must forget that they're black, right? And then you got the people on the left who only see black people as black. That's the only thing, the only lens they see you through. So you on the right, you want to forget about race because you're tired of the shit weaponized all the time. The people on the right, on the left, they just want to keep focusing on identity. And then the black people who's like, damn, shit, where am I going to go? I actually think more like the conservatives. You go over there, but then y'all hate race so much that either you ignore race and you get angry when black people talk about race, or you just say, you do stupid ass videos like what this woman just did that is vitriolic towards black people, and it only serves to fracture the coalition that is being built.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
But think about this, and this is where the monolith shit pops in. What she said was her opinion, not every white person, just that whatever. That was her opinion. So the problem comes in that black people will look at that shit and they would say, that's why I don't fuck with white people. That's why I don't fuck with Republicans.
That's it. That's it. Because Gen X would never, Black Jack would never. Why? Like, I hear what you're saying, Tony, 110%. But we dealt with it too. We were called coons, Uncle Toms, Sambos. We were disowned by friends, family.
I agree.
We felt it too. So for you as a conservative white woman, you know what we just went throughout this entire ordeal. And I know this because, like I said, I used to follow this lady all the time. You could not have just put it out that this is a specific group of people that you have saw throughout your life. If you lived in the hood, this is what you went through. If you went outside, this is what you went through. No, you generalize an entire race of people. And white conservatives, y'all do this shit a lot.
Yep.
Y'all are starting to be like Nick Fuentes in this shit. I saw that shit with Nick Fuentes and I was just like, damn, wait a minute, hold up.
Listen,
I was shocked. Go ahead, Gen X. I think you about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Tony's right on some points that somebody said it, the movement started, and people found it acceptable to use the term black fatigue because all of a sudden people were using it. Now, me personally, and listen, I'll only ever speak for myself. I'm Gen X. I was raised by a dad who introduced me to people by their name, and we were Southern, so it was Mr. or Mrs. And I wasn't taught that this is black Mr. Smith and this is white Mr. Smith. We just
Right.
called them by their last name. We didn't, and I don't think it's that me personally, I ignore race. It's just something I wasn't brought up distinguishing between human beings.
Yeah.
They were people who were in my life, who were good human beings, or else my parents would have never introduced us to them as adults. We played with their kids, we went to church with them, we did all, and they were just people. So at my age and my generation, from where I'm from, I just don't think about it if you're a good person. And if you're an asshole, the color of your skin isn't relevant to me there either. It's just not. But I think in some ways, you know, what Tony was talking about is we are in this group think in our society that if you don't agree, you're going to be called all kinds of names. And it quite frankly does get exhausting being called all these kind of names when I look at myself and I'm like, well, I'm not any of that, because I deal with each person as an individual and whether you're good or not. But I think because that is something that is constantly put in our face, there are people who can't overcome that and continue to deal with people as individuals. They use it as an excuse to throw it out there because all of a sudden it became acceptable to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean, what you think?
I agree with pretty much everything everybody else is saying. But you said one word that really matters the most to me: semantics.
Yeah.
So there's some extremely very smart people in the world, smarter than us, evil, and they know what they're doing. And they throw these things out there. They create these words, these terms, these phrases, throw them out and let it spread. Somebody created that term, black fatigue. That was created. That's a weapon.
That's right.
Really smart people thought that out before they released it to society. These types of things, this is my opinion, I don't know that for a fact, but this happens constantly where these extremely smart, evil people control the dialogue. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And that's why I was the first one to crack into this, but I've never looked at another human, and it is ignorant. I'm learning in my later age that you have to respect everybody. And I always did, but I didn't respect them because of their color. I just respect them because of who they are. So I was never taught to respect people or for or against because of color, right? So for me, and black fatigue, automatically, the first time I heard it was semantics. That didn't mean anything to me. That meant somebody created that and they're creating division.
Yeah.
From my personal experience and opinion, like I said earlier, I have ghetto fatigue. I'm from the ghetto. I was ghetto. I fatigued from myself.
He said, I
I
was
don't like the
ghetto.
old me. I don't like him. Should I not progress in my life and try
Right.
to get out of poverty, or do I just be proud to stay in poverty? So for me,
Yep.
obviously, I'm not black. I know that. But that term never meant anything to me. It felt like a weapon that was created for more division. And obviously, it means something to everyone else, different to each person here, obviously.
Yep.
It obviously doesn't affect me towards me personally, but I've never looked at other people from the color of their skin first, ever. I never have. So that was just a very ignorant phrase to me, but ignorant people will eat it up. They make these things like just real quick, and then I'll finish. But like conspiracy theory, like that word itself was created. That phrase was created to take away the credibility of real conspiracies.
Yeah.
They're really, really smart people know what they're doing with these words. And for me, when I saw that, I was like, that was created to ignite people's emotions and to get them to fall on one side or the other or take a side. I don't like to fall. I call it stepping in the dog shit. I don't like to get into these conversations. So this is a nice place to feel comfortable and talk about this. And I do talk about this with my friends in real life. But Shannon, you know, obviously, I don't ever talk about anything like this on my social media.
Right.
I
Right.
can't. I'm not allowed to take a side. I'm an artist, you know. So, but in real life, I talk about all this. I want to end with one last thing on the black fatigue. My friend, we were talking the other day, and I always go from race to class because it's always been confusing for me, you know. But going on systemic racism and whatnot, it took me years to even accept the fact. But my dark black friends, we'll say dark black, would say, if a white man and a black man go into the bank, who will get the loan first? Most people would agree the white man would probably get it. But that's an old systemic way of thinking. I see you nodding, and I agree with you. The real answer is if two men walk in, or women walk into a bank, one is dressed like Hallville, ghetto, and one is dressed in a suit, who's going to get the loan? It don't matter about the skin color at that point. Am I wrong? I'm just throwing that one out there, and then I'll end on that.
Who want to elaborate? Anybody?
I do. May I?
Yes.
I didn't see nothing wrong with her video.
Okay.
I didn't. I the same way I don't see anything wrong when black people put down white people, or black people and white people put down immigrants. Or I didn't see nothing. That was her opinion. I mean, do I agree with it? No, obviously I don't. But see, Tony said something that was actually very crucial. There's certain people in our country that feel like they've been pushed in a corner. And now they're like striking back. It's like a rattlesnake. You can poke a rattlesnake all day long, but don't get upset when the rattlesnake bites. And even though I don't agree with certain things, I do know this, and I can say it with my full chest. There's some people that I grew up with in the black community that'll agree 100 with that video. They will agree 100 if it was the same. If it was a Latina who had 6 kids and was noisy as shit, they'd say the same shit. And you know what? There'd be people like me saying, hey, get your Latino kids together because they acting like an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that we've gotten to this point of fatigue. It's not only with black fatigue. It is just, listen, I'll be honest with you guys. I am so freaking fatigued of being fatigued and everybody finding a fucking excuse to be like, whatever. Like, I'm over it. Like, I've been over it. We got so many more things that we should be worried about, like real talk. Yeah. And I'm over here wondering, like, you know, we're in this mess because we allowed it. We gave power to people who, one, don't feed us, sleep with us, and financially support us. Yeah. And I know who that bothered the most. Some of you have said it in live. Some of you have said it in your content. A hit dog will always holler. When people tell me I'm gonna get deported because of the way I look, you know, that don't bother me none, because it don't apply. So I let that shit fly. Wow. But I'm not gonna stop somebody from feeling the way they're feeling. Hell, say it. I've been on lives with Tony where we've been called so many racial slurs by members of our very own community. And I'm over here like, show me who you truly are. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I don't know who that lady was.
So with that being said, we all have had to deal with it, but it was not from our own people. It wasn't from us. It wasn't from conservatives. You know what I'm saying? Like, as somebody who's new to the Conservative Party, I've only voted like twice as a Republican. And I remember when I first became, you know, knowing people like Fu, knowing people like Gen X, knowing you, knowing Tony. Before Trump got in office, we were on one accord. We were in alliance. We were on the set. We were, because if we didn't, I would have never met y'all. What I'm saying is that, like, we knew that we needed to be different from the other side.
No. I get all that.
We knew that we needed to be different from the other side. We knew that we needed to not let Kamala Harris win. We knew that we were dealing with a lot of racist shit coming from the other side on all ends. I just feel like that, like, if I'm going to address a situation when it comes to a white American or a Hispanic person, I'm not going to group all of you all together.
That's right.
I'm not going to say I have white fatigue. I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to make sure that I say this particular person did this particular shit. Because what they did was, and I'm going to show you in a minute, because I see that fool wants to say, and I want everybody else to get a hint. What they did was they did the same playbook that liberals do. They took a word and a phrase that was meant for something else, and they used it to talk about what they feel. Black fatigue was a liberal situation. That was a liberal term from a liberal woman who was talking about the emotional stress that Black people deal with when it comes to racism, when it comes to marching. So it was never even meant to be used. Now, the thing is that they have taken it completely left. I don't even see people from the left even saying it. It's only conservatives that's saying the shit. That's the problem for me. Food, it looked like you was about to say something.
I'm gonna say something that's on.
No. I'm sorry, Lou. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, the only reason I said that is because I wanted to show the live stream that I'm doing over here how we can have a difference of opinion, and I even told them that I was going to play devil's advocate.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And how
I'm not jumping on you. This is what we do, Lou. Like we're not going to always agree with it. I agree with what you're saying, but I guess what I'm trying to get people to understand, because I got conservatives that's watching us, is that like we are using this term. We're using the same playbook that liberals used when they took woke.
Yes, ma'am. And the reason I said why it hit dog hollers and why certain people in certain communities will agree that there's certain members of the same community, their very own, that don't represent them. What happened in Houston in regards to outside the Houston rodeo?
Yeah.
You had so many individuals in the Black community call out the behavior of YNs that were out there embarrassing the Black community.
Yes.
Like, this is why I live out in the country. This is why I live next to white people. This is why I do that. And that's why I was trying to drive home the part about I'm just fatigued of being fatigued with all these other things.
Hell yeah.
If you want to look for it, you'll find it. I'm too busy looking for successful things and surrounding myself by positivity that I'm not paying attention to dumb shit.
No, Steve, that group of people is called a subculture. Those are if you ever know who Thomas Sowell is, if you all never heard of Thomas Sowell, those are called Black rednecks. He has a book called White Liberals and Black Rednecks. It is absolutely a wonderful book. And it shows that we do have a subculture within a culture that is, they're kind of getting more shine to represent our culture as being ghetto. So it's been easy for people to group us all into one thing, even though people like myself, Fu, Unapologetically G, Tony L, we're not like those people. So yeah, go ahead, Fu. It looked like you was about to say something.
I was gonna speak on when you talk about hijack, monolith, and the way things are going. The prime example is that bullshit ass black woman statue that they put in New York. That shit right there, it wasn't just a slap in the face. It was the non-reaction that I saw. See, where was Joy Reid's tennis ball head looking ass when that shit happened? Where was Don Lemon saying something about that? Like, what the fuck? Because the whole thing about it is, are you going to show an Hispanic woman like that? Are you gonna show a white chick like that's what I'm like, y'all bugging, but they do shit like that to spark something, but it's also to see, okay, will it be the reaction that we really want to see? Were they gonna come together? Hell no, because you're gonna have everybody going this way about it, and it makes no sense. Because for me, disrespect is disrespect, and not enough people call it out.
Yeah.
And that's on all fronts with every type of issue. And it's not enough times where we all can come together and call out disrespect. That's one of the issues I have. Everything got to be separated and or monolith. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. What you guys say, G? I think I seen your hand up.
I do. Oh, it's gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think we got to stop talking about systematic racism.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to stop
Fuck yeah.
this, okay?
Let's go.
Because everybody has a different experience,
Yep.
but I think that comes from a lot of our historical data information given to other Black people has come from Southern Black experience. And we have to remember that the rest of the country outside of the South were not operating in some states like that. Some opportunities weren't the same according to North, South, East, and West, right? It was all different situation, but a lot of our foundational information, historical information, comes from the South.
Yeah.
We have to stop this. My great grandfather was a grocery store owner. We owned a home. I grew up with a maid and a nanny. There's nothing stopping any Black person anywhere during any time period, unless you were a slave, right, and had to overcome those obstacles. Outside of slavery, there was nothing stopping you from being successful, from being educated, from wanting more, from doing more, perhaps from being able to obtain a home. It just, if we're going to move forward and we're talking about in unity, we got to leave some of this past stuff behind, because we know that it's been orchestrated for us. It's been set up for us. It is a system that has fed us this to make us believe that's exactly what it is. And for most cases, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. We got to stop talking about Black people, Black, Black. We got to start dealing with our communities and what we are lacking.
Yeah.
We're lacking education. We're lacking funding.
I agree.
We're lacking integrity, right? We're lacking social construct. Even though I don't want the social construct to be racism, but we need to have some type of, we're lacking shame. We're lacking shame. People don't shame each other and tell you dead ass wrong.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep.
And
Man,
so
that's
I
real
would just,
shit.
I do not and have never, because of the way I grew up, and I know I grew up different than a lot of Black people, I just do not believe in systematic racism.
Why you put your head down, Lou? What?
No reason.
I just
no
wanted
reason.
to show the statue.
Can't stand this damn statue. I got a whole video on TikTok about this bitch.
Me too. I just want to show this statue because, you know, I'm part of the pleasantly plump crew. I am.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
I am. And that's okay. But not all of us is. And this is what I mean when I say, like, this is some left shit right here. This is a left man is the one who made the statue. I can't even talk about it because it pisses me off that y'all wasn't mad enough.
The only thing missing is a bonnet.
She don't have a bra on.
She don't. She looked like an angry baby mama waiting, sitting at the counter, mad because her wick ain't working.
And it's like I said, the only thing that's missing is her having a bonnet on.
Yeah.
That'd have been the icing on the cake if she had that shit on her head.
It's horrible.
It's messed up because, like, even with looking at it, like,
and you had Black people out here protecting this, saying that it was this is the image that, bitch, what image is it? Whatever image it is, we need to kill it.
This is what I'm saying. We get tired of the shit from Black people too, from the hood side of Black. It ain't even hood people, because Joy Reid gets on my damn nerves. I can't stand Joy Reid. I don't. It's certain things that I don't see, but like I feel like that we need to replace Black fatigue with just another name. We
need to have a show with the same people on this panel, and we need to do a draft. We need to get rid of some motherfuckers. Fuck that.
Fact.
We need to do the
no,
Dave
no.
Chappelle
Now,
draft. We
let's
gotta
be
get rid of
clear.
some.
Joy Reid is not an American. She's not a Black American. Her
It-
parents are immigrants.
I don't think the woman who made the Black Fatigue book is American. She don't look American. Cause see, I like Black Fatigue. And hold on, let me get up out of this. This is where it comes from for those who aren't aware of where Black Fatigue actually came from. It came from the 2020. It's always 2020. It's 2020. I'm telling y'all, something in this country died in 2020, y'all.
That was the greatest psyop of all times.
It was planned. It was all planned.
So, Black fatigue is an American term used to describe Black people in the United States who are experiencing psychological and physical problems caused by various factors, including systematic racism. The term was coined by writer Mary Frances Winters in 2020 when she published a book in which the term was first used. And this is what I mean why I say we got to be careful with our messaging, conservatives. We have to, because guess what? Initially neutral, the term was co-opted by right-winged individuals during the mid-2020s and defined by them as a feeling of fatigue when interacting with Black people. You see how we understand that you all probably have had bad situations that have happened when it comes to Black Americans, but do you see how our experiences that we have when we generalize an entire race of people, they are looking to put the racist label on you. And by you latching on to this terminology, you've allowed them to win. Am I wrong for saying that?
No.
You allowed them to win.
You're not wrong.
Now you're very wrong for saying that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Nah,
Tell me
he's
why.
just fucking with you.
Because we all have dealt with experiences from some ghetto hood rat shit. I see it all the time. All the time. From white people too. I think my neighbor may be watching. Hopefully. She hood as hell. Hood. Gangster. She got thug life on her stomach, y'all. She's a white girl.
What's frustrating is the influence.
She got thug life on her stomach. I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. She really do got thug life tattooed on her stomach like Tupac.
What's frustrating is that the way things move in this country, especially with certain things, when you talk about quote unquote culture, somebody said something on the podcast a little while ago and it always stuck with me. And it said Black people made being poor look cool.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that are done. And what frustrates me, obviously, is when I see little younger chicks, even old chicks out there with the bonnet on and pajamas and this, that, whatever, out like that. And for me, I guess me being in the South, it's not just Black people. They have, like, I see everybody out there. I'm like, what the fuck? Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was going to say this earlier, but everything that is marketed to Black people that comes from the political left is harmful to Black people. Just think about it. Anything culturally, whether it's the music, whether it's the imagery, like that weird statue, whether it's terminating the lives of your unborn children, whether it's any sort of social degeneracy, whether it's fighting to sex workers, legalize prostitution. It's like everything that they market to Black people, twerk on Washington, get your booties to the pole. I mean, this is how the left sees you, Black people. They
Backs
don't
that thing up.
They don't see you. They don't market to you based on economics, anything that appeals to financial literacy and growth.
Yeah.
It's always something to dumb you down, or it comes from a presupposition that you are deficient intellectually. You need a hand up, no child left behind. We know who that was for. You know, we need more welfare, more entitlement programs, because you know y'all don't want to work. You know, y'all need your SNAP benefits, and you need the Section 8 and see, everything that they market to you is it shows what they think of you and your capabilities. So when we talk about all the things like DEI and all that stuff, everything comes from a default position that you can't do it by yourself, and you need them to help you and walk you through it like a toddler. Just think about it.
Yeah. Somebody said somebody on IG, Charles.Edmond 1 said, you never saw the bonnet crew during the civil rights march in the 60s. No. They was wearing heels. They weren't wearing jeans or tennis. They weren't even wearing gym shoes back then.
That's why our grandfather and grandmother's feet was all fucked up. They was marching in them goddamn wingtips. They was out there for real. They was out there doing it. I got respect for them, but goddamn.
It was about being professional, though, right? It was about being professional. It was about having pride and honor. It was about having class. If you wanted to be heard, you wanted to be listened to, so on, taken seriously, you didn't show up in a bonnet. You didn't show up in your pajamas. That's why I get, like, the first time I heard my son allowed his wife to go to the grocery store with house slippers on, I told him he needs to check that shit. Because see, you have standards. I don't listen over here. We're grown ass men that mess with grown ass women. Period, point blank. You better have some class, some dignity, and some respect whenever you go out, because you are a representation of your husband. Don't go out there dressing like you're all trashed out, because that reflects my son, how he is as a man, how he is as a husband, how he is as a godly man. You're not going to disrespect him like that, because at the end of the day, you don't set those standards. You don't set those ground rules moving forward. Those boundaries are going to get crossed over so many times in different aspects of life. That's not happening. It's not happening. And that's where we got away from.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up over there.
Dang. It's my black cat, y'all. It's my black cat. I told y'all he think he a dog.
Oh, see, if it was a white cat, you wouldn't have that problem. If it was a brown cat, he'd be sweeping the floor or some shit.
You know what's so funny? Lou, I have a half white. I have a black and a white cat, and guess where she at? Over there in her cubby, minding her business. See, y'all just destructive even as cats. Damn it! But no, I 100% respect that. Like we have a fatigue. My fatigue is just ghetto fatigue. Like I'm just sick of the ghetto shit. Me personally.
Same.
And I just want our side. This is just now, mind you, this is my own personal experience. This is everybody's personal experience. That did hurt my feelings when I saw that, because I thought I was a part of a team that didn't focus on that. Being such a new Republican, being a new conservative, I was just like, damn. And then I'm seeing it more and more. So that's where my frustration came from.
But you know what?
You do know that. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Right.
I was gonna say, but you know, in that type of situation, that's where communication comes in at.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when we see stuff like that, you start to see the character of the person who makes certain videos.
Yeah.
Look, I saw your video. I want to talk to you about that, to kind of explain this is how I took it and other people can't, because once again, Tone said it.
But I hear you what you're saying, but I feel like that when it comes to doing that, how I feel about it, she 9 times out of 10 probably don't care. She wouldn't care, because she kept making it and making it. I did comment and say, I follow you, and I've been following you for a while, and this is really disappointing. It's really disappointing, because I get it that you have your own personal experience, but to generalize all of us into one group, it's really disappointing and disheartening, because I was a fan of your content. So I did reach out, and I've done it to several other ones. I had to block a content creator a couple of months ago, because they were talking about Black people moving. There was a liberal conversation, right? Perfect example. It was a radio show. Black guy was talking to another guy. I think it was a white guy. He said, "So we should have our own part of the country. That black people should have their own part of the country." You know, this was some liberal talking point type shit. It was, but a big major content creator made a whole video pretty much saying that black people don't deserve to own shit.
I know
we don't deserve to own anything. Everything that we touch, we break it down. We burn it to the ground. Look at Africa. This is somebody that I've talked to on a regular basis. And I was just like, God dang.
Wait, who was that? Who said that?
Oh my God, I can't think of what his name. He always says I'm gonna be an asshole about it. He's one of them.
I know.
I gotta find him. I blocked him.
What do you look like? What do you look like?
Hey, chat, if y'all know who she's talking about, chat, will you let me know?
Oh God, I
my
can't
bad.
think of what his name is. I gotta find him. He's a white guy. I can't think of what his name is.
It'll come to you because it's too many people watching. Somebody will know who it is.
I can't think of what his name is. I'm not gonna dwell on it, but I just felt like, damn, bro. Like, why you gotta shit on a whole community like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how many homeowners is out here? And I had to break it down to him, just because you've never been to a prominent black neighborhood, don't think that there's not wealthy black neighborhoods that exist in America. And I gave him a list.
You talk about OM?
OM, who was that?
The millennial.
Hell no. No. He was one of them. It was another one. I did reach out. Older millennial did it too. Fact of the matter is that, like, we got midterms coming up, y'all.
That's my point.
This really ain't the shit that y'all need to be even talking about anyway.
Yep.
So can we?
This was a golden opportunity for conservatives to grab the black people from the left that was feeling some type of way about the policies. This was a golden opportunity for us to get more black conservatives that actually dealt with the brunt, the disrespect, and the racism from their own people to go out and fish and bring more people back to this side. But y'all completely messed it up with this messaging.
Yeah.
It's not about how I feel personally. I'm only whooping you because I love you. We gotta work on our messaging, y'all. Gen X, what you gotta say, sis?
Yeah, you can't be sitting there with manners.
That would be abnormal for me to sit there with manners. I have to be on Nana's live and have good manners all day, every day. No, you said something that kind of, I think we need to think of from both perspectives. You said we're new to this, meaning you're new to the conservative party. Well, you have to think a lot of conservative party, y'all being here is new to us as well. So because we have been shunned as a white conservative by the black community for a long time, because nobody wanted to know us as individuals. Mm-hmm. When, somebody must have messaged to y'all in a way that made sense to you to make the decision to come over to the light side and talk to the conservatives. And so I think a lot of, now I would never do what she did. I mean, I'm going to deal with people on a one-on-one basis, and I don't care what color your skin is. You're either an asshole or you're not, and that's that. But I think, sometimes we have to feel our way around learning how to be in a community that has kind of, from our perspective, shunned us. As well. I mean, I think when there's a movement, we all got to, for a little while, figure it out. I wouldn't figure it out that way, but I think maybe it might just take a minute for everyone to figure out what this new thing is that's this new conservative party. So, you know, I don't necessarily think we need to give her a lot of grace. I don't agree with how she messaged that. I think it was a little bit too aggressive, in my opinion. And you know what? Until you told me where the coin term black fatigue came from, I didn't know, but I never thought about it enough to really go look it up either, because it's not part of my vocabulary. It's not something I would use or say. It just didn't. So it's just kind of, you know, we're going through the newness just like you guys are. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why I said this is like a reintroduction.
Mm-hmm.
We have to learn to reintroduce ourselves to each other, because like
that's right.
We just, a lot of us just really learning about who we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're a lot of us are really learning who we are, what our lineage is, because we were taught for a long time. Like Tiffany said, she didn't really go through that, but a lot of us were taught that we weren't nothing but descendants of slaves. A lot of us were taught that we need to use our race as a crutch. That because I'm black, I should be able to go to school for free. You know what I mean? Or I should be able to do this and do that. So I think that we are at a time right now where these conversations need to happen. They might get a little frustrated at first, but they need to happen, because it be so much that be pent inside of each other. You just be like trying to understand, like, damn, like, why is it like that? Why are we thinking like this? Why are we at this point to where we look at one race of people and automatically put them as the worst race, the worst group of people in the country? One person said the correct person. It was definitely Huckleberry. That was his name. It was Huckleberry. That was the content creator.
Well, going back to I guess I didn't see that video, but going back to something you had said in regards to being newly on this side of the spectrum or this side of the aisle, I just want to let you know, sweetheart, stand 10 toes down on what it is that you think.
Oh, always.
Whatever you feel. It doesn't matter if the party agrees with you or if you agree with the party or disagree. This is why we're not a monolith. This is why we're not in a cult. This is why we can have our own differences and views, right? Like there's one of my followers, right? Her name is Shell. She likes the shit out of ceviche tacos. I can't stand ceviche tacos. I tell her pH balance is off all the time. Like, you know, it is what it is. But that's the way I tease her, right? She's from California. But it's the fact of being able to have a difference, like this Iran situation. Right, there's so many people that think differently than me, and I don't think any different than them for having a difference of opinion than I. The same thing for immigration mass deportation. Some people want to keep the immigration doors open. I don't. I want it all shut down. And you know, like I've been able to have conversations with individuals off the app, and what we're doing here may be a surprise to some of y'all, but I do this every day, sometimes every other day, but my conference calls like this normally last an hour, you know, and we have these conversations, these major ass conversations in regards to grown folk. Sometimes I talk to rich millionaires like they're shit and stupid. Straight up, I do, because the messaging, we all have a problem with messaging on the right. We know that. We've been having a problem with messaging on the right. It ain't no secret. But if I've been telling these people in regards to like who reaches out to me that want to know about our movement, how can we better it, so on and so forth, I've been telling them the same shit for 5+ years, 7+ years. At some point, I start to realize, hey, yo, you know what? Maybe you guys don't want to fix the problem. This is why you have individuals that leave the Democrat Party, feel politically homeless after voting for the Republican Party because they're not seeing certain things being done. And this is why I say stand on what it is you think and feel, because you are that wing or that feather of balance in our movement. You are the ones that bring us back to the center, back to the moderate, back to the conservative, true conservative side of things, that some of us that have been on the conservative side for so long that we're going too far right or we're going too far left, because the right has gone left past the middle in certain things. Look at our budget, look at the way they advocate for immigration and all of that, right? But I do believe we need balance. It's okay to have a difference of
Absolutely.
opinion, right? But let's also not forget what's more important at the forefront of the movement, and that is to stay rock solid moving forward. I mean, if not, we're going to be Venezuela. We're going to be Cuba. We're going to be Iran. That's just real talk.
I'm
Shit,
glad you said
we're gonna
that.
be California, basically.
Shit, that's what. Hey, Sean
Well,
D.
Shell's from California, bro.
I
Ugh.
literally just commented when they were because they were talking about that ICE agents was going to be at our airport here, and they told them not to do it, and they were all celebrating in the comments. Woo, yay, that's what's up. And I was just like, y'all have no idea, like, how bad it's going to get if you all don't like pay attention to what's going on. You're literally Indianapolis, and Shannon D can attest to this. Indianapolis crime rate has gotten so bad within like the last 3 years.
It's scary.
It's terrible.
It's changed everything. It's changed the music.
It's changed the music in the music scene here, nowhere near. It's there's like I don't know if you know this, Shani D. There's been a lot of people from California that have moved here.
Wow.
So they bought that California liberal mindset here.
Yeah, I'm seeing it in the little pockets, and it's just growing like an infection.
It's growing like an infection, and it's to the point to where I could go on the west side of town and feel like I'm in a whole nother country.
Yeah.
Wait, what state are you talking about, sweetheart?
Indiana. Yeah, Indiana of all places. I could go on the west side of town. I went on there yesterday, and I used to live on the west side. It is nothing but immigrants over there now. It used to be a very diverse area. And now it's like a whole nother world.
It's like a third world country.
It's third world country.
Getting there. If you go in the right neighborhood, it's just decimated, dead, and you can even see there's more. This is just a funny, humorous side note on that, but more wrecks. These people don't even have licenses. Just little obvious things like that. You're like, adds up. You see it. You can see it locally. You can see it. I hear the sirens, going to more wrecks. I live on the west side.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm in the middle.
And
one thing that bothers me about being in the middle is how we have this app where you could actually see the pedophiles in your area. I am surrounded by 3 schools, y'all. 3. 2 churches. There's literally pedophiles right near the schools. And I thought about these kids. I thought about these kids that were out there protesting, and I was just like, damn, they're standing right in front of a building where there's 2 pedophiles that live at.
You need to call that dude you be talking about. Get him in your area.
What dude?
That dude.
Chris Hansen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris Hansen, hey, clip this. Chris Hansen, you need to hire me.
Yeah.
Because I need you out here, and we need more women on your show. For real. Tim, what you got to say, sis? Y'all know we got 10 minutes left. You want to add anything?
I just agree. I'm so happy that we are having this conversation from different perspectives, and we all have the common ground of it's so unnecessary. The racial construct is so unnecessary. But only strong minds have to remember this. Is the weak are getting led astray.
Exactly.
So you will perish for the lack of knowledge, right? There's certain things in the Bible that I know ring true. And so you will perish for the lack of knowledge. And that is the issue that we are having. Weak-minded, easy sheep to be led astray is what the issue is. Because strong-minded, everybody in this panel is a strong-minded person and believes almost the same thing, good and bad. You're either a good person or you're a bad person. You either have class or you do not. And so those are the things that really separate us. The race doesn't separate us. The TV tells us that that's what it is, but it's not. It's another whole underlying construct that separates us or keeps us away from each other. but it should never be about race.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Yeah, these conversations. I was reluctant to have this conversation because I didn't know how it was gonna go, but I'm glad that I have people on here who are individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like we may not agree with everything, but like we can all say that like this whole little racism shit, it's a problem that we just need to just act as if we need to say it don't exist no more. I feel like that once you put it out there that it doesn't exist, it will eventually not exist. Once we stop talking about it all the time, eventually it will no longer be there. It's because we put so much energy in it. We see it everywhere. It's in our TV shows, it's in our movies, it's in our music. You know what I'm saying? I think that it has to get to the point to where more conversations like this need to happen with a diverse group of people. I didn't want just all Black people on here. I wanted Hispanics. I wanted white people. I wanted us to be able to be like, okay, what can we as conservatives do for our side in order for us to move Trump's agenda forward? Because his whole point was to make America great again. And we're obviously seeing that we got to fight tooth and nail for that shit to happen, because not only are we fighting against the illegal immigrants that came in this country and the ones that are still in our tax dollars, we're fighting with each other right now. So how are we going to be able to move forward if we don't get along? That's where we're at right now. And I'm glad that we're coming to a realization that we just got to roll with who's going to roll with us.
When you said that about this particular group, it needs to be more, because no matter if we agree on 1,000% of the same shit, which we won't, we're all solution based. Yeah. And we're up against a group, all they want to do is cause commotion. But then when you start talking about the Republican side, there's a select group of people, I'm talking about political power. They want the power, but don't want to do the work. Yep. Those are the ones that got to go. Those the motherfuckers, they want to call them rhinos, whatever the case may be, because being able to legislate is not easy. That's some hard shit. You gotta take some shit to actually do that. They don't want to. It's the reason why you got certain people that fly under the radar that be voting however the fuck they want to vote, but because they in a safe state, they never get voted out. These people got to get called out, because the motherfuckers who not about solutions, they have to go. This is just to me, if they got rid of all of them, I wouldn't care. But I can say the people that voted against that bill, and I'll get your opinion on this. The people who voted against that bill to release the names on that list that be using that slush money for the assaults, the essays or whatever. Yeah. The 198, it wasn't just Democrats. It was Democrats and Republicans. All y'all motherfuckers got to go. But where are the people that's willing to run? That's my whole thing. Because you got to be careful then, because now you got motherfuckers out here as Democrats running as Republicans. It's the same shit.
Well, yeah, and that's been happening a lot. That's another thing. Like, we don't know who's who in our party. There was just a video I just reacted to yesterday, where they did an investigation and found out that like the Democrats infiltrated the Republican Party within like the last 9 years. And that's all. And
I believe that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Like, I truly believe that we have a lot of cosplaying ass people in our party from the other side. In fact, I believe whoever brought Black fatigue over to our side is probably from the liberal side. And we just was able to, it just probably made people was just like, you know what? Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with it too, because I'm tired of the shit that I see when it comes to this particular group of people. They probably don't mean to group all of us in with each other, but they probably was just like, okay, I see this person talking about it. I see that person talking about it. So let me talk about it too. There was literally a Black guy who was acting as if he was a part of MAGA and made so much money lying.
Now, Nah, Pretty. Hold up. This way we got it. This way we got to end the motherfucking show. I don't know if
What?
y'all saw the video that Pretty did. She made a great point. When Trump gets out of office, it's gonna be a lot of broke motherfucking content creators. Cause they ain't gonna have shit. They ain't gonna have nothing to
talk about.
Talk about. Everybody on here, everybody on this panel, we actually have value. We have real conversation. We put real content out there about a broad spectrum of things. It's people out here, all they talk about is Trump. And we saw that when he wasn't in office. They talked about Trump during Biden's term more than Biden. That was crazy to me. Like, what the fuck? And that's what we get ready to deal with when he out of office.
Good. Let him go.
Let him go. But we got a uniparty that we dealing with. This is why we got to get focused. We got a uniparty that we're dealing with. And we're noticing, and I remember me and Gen X and all of us was talking about it, that we knew that we were going to have a problem with a lot of those executive orders being pushed through in this Senate. We knew it because of a specific person.
Can I ask y'all a question? How many shutdowns was it when Biden was in office?
Does it matter?
No, it does. But how many shutdowns was it when Biden was in office? Take a guess.
None.
I don't remember none.
No,
yeah, I don't think I ever remembered it.
It was zero.
None.
Yeah.
The only shutdown I remember from the Biden era was during the pandemic. That's it.
I'm talking about government shutdown. There was none.
It was none.
It was zero. Look at how many they had in Trump's motherfucking 2 terms. Yeah. Shit crazy.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get to talk about everything I wanted to talk about, but we talked about what needed to be talked about. And that's all that matters. We can move forward. And now we know we got midterms coming up, and Trump ain't gonna be in office forever. Start planning now.
I think
what you're gonna do and how you're gonna move next, because we don't know who's going to take. We don't know what's coming towards us. It's so much different shit like every other day. It's hard to keep up. The best thing that you could do is you could prepare your family, yourself, pray, and leave racism out the conversation. Stop generalizing a whole group of people. If you had a problem with a black person, you had a problem with a Hispanic person, you had a problem with a white person, quit generalizing all of them, because we are not all the same. We don't all think the same. We weren't all raised the same. At the end of the day, we just want to be America first, which is what the hell we were supposed to be in the first place. So the only monolith that we need at this point is to be America first.
What were you about to say, Jammin? What about to say, Lou?
Here's the issue. Too many people on the right are focusing solely on Trump and not where the focus needs to be. The one thing that's been happening the last 4 years on TikTok lives is always defending Trump, the misinformation with the same people on the same panels that you've had in different lives, day in and day out, talking about the same things. Because these individuals, it's like a script. They'll bring up J6, they'll bring up the E-files, they'll bring up the current trending topics. But nobody on the right, and this is why I said I've been moving differently ever since they killed Charlie, the way they did. I've been moving differently. I'm now focusing on special elections, getting that word out. You want to know why? Because people that have been hosting lives, you got to defend. Guess what? Yeah. You lost Miami, a deep red district, went to Democrats. You lost another red seat in Houston, and you keep losing all these seats, but nobody's thought about start talking about the local elections. Nobody's talking about the special elections. Nobody's talking about any of that, because it's more entertaining to have an argument with the same idiot you've already argued with. I mean, that's not being productive to our movement. The Jerry Springer type fucking lives, I don't host those. Yeah. I don't. And to be honest with you, I started moving the same way I did in 2021. After the election, I went back to talking about mental health, not so much politics, 5 days out of the week, 6 days out of the week. Now I'm doing it to where I'm actually am now moving to 2 nights a week I'm watching a movie with my followers, hanging out, building that rapport with them.
Yeah.
And when they're in there, we got 150, 200 people strong because they're like, this is refreshing. It's not constant, just, you know, the arguing shit.
Yeah.
And it's true because you do get this thing called follower fatigue. You get some people that get interested in the arguments, that get interested in the debates. You get people that are constantly all about that, and all that's fine. But then they leave you.
Yeah.
They don't come back. And then it's like the rubber band is stretched so tight that it ends up snapping.
Yeah.
And they can disagree with you in just one stance and leave you. Like, if you don't have that commonality of human like relationship with them and whatnot, you miss out on that. And I don't want nobody to not be successful. I want everybody to be successful. Like, do you? If you feel like you need to do those lives, do them. You know, do them. To me, I'm looking at the overall picture and why some people feel we're going to lose the midterms. And I'm trying to move in a different manner about how we keep them. And the way we keep them is applying to Democrats their very own tactics they've been applying to us. That's why they have been constantly.
There you go.
That's why they're constantly asking, you know, like, well, so Texas is going to go blue. Texas ain't going blue. Tellerico ain't going to win shit, you know, but that's not spoke about on my panel or my live. I don't give people like that any energy at all whatsoever.
Amen. You all right with me? You was all right with me, Lou.
I appreciate it.
I love that. Like, and that's real. And, you know, I know we went over a little bit. So I know a lot of you all got a lot going on. You're more than welcome to leave up out of here. But before you do, because I really want y'all to hear this story about the grocery store before you leave food and G. I don't want y'all to leave yet. But before you all go, I do want to make sure that I let you all know I got a friend of mine who's actually running for political position. She hasn't given me what it is just of yet, but she's looking for some support. And I want you all to possibly, if you can, go support my girl, Megan McGlover.
Love her.
You all know who Megan is. If you don't know, you need to go check out her videos on IG and TikTok. She's amazing. This is Megan McGlover. She is wanting to go forward with her political position. She's a very strong advocate for the conservative party and just overall righteousness for Americans. And she wants the assistance with raising $20,000 to help support this next chapter of her journey. If you all would like to see more of this information and you want to support Megan in her quest, you're more than welcome to go and check her out at GoFundMe. Here is the link. Just show her some love, whatever you could give. If you want to share this on your social media to get more eyes on it, it'd be greatly appreciated. We definitely got to make sure we get behind our people, man, because we are the OGs. We the OGs now. We also, Fu said he's getting ready to also be doing a political office soon. When he gets going, we got to support him. I'm gonna let you know right now. I got too many skeletons in my closet, so I'm not doing no damn.
We got to get Megan on Nana's live with Awake Gen X. She'll get that. She'll be good.
I don't need y'all. I don't need y'all seeing my gangster pictures.
Hold on, Mom. You said you got too many skeletons in your closet?
Yeah, I don't need y'all seeing my gangster thug pictures. Like,
don't even worry about that. There's men portraying to be women running for office winning. There's immigrants that come here from all over the world that run for office and they end up winning. Okay, forget about your skeletons in your past. You don't live there. There's a reason why the rearview mirror is so small. See, I've been told this so many times. I got too many. There's too much dirt out there. And what makes you any different than these politicians who now have a net worth of $30 million when they entered office just a few years ago in the negative?
Right. You're right.
Like, we can't be afraid of what dirt they're going to sling at us.
I was joking, Jamie.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right. It was all right. But no, I'm the media person. You feel me? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to use my voice I'm trying to be what Oprah should have been. That's my goal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to be that. I don't really want to get into any type of political position. I do want to use my voice and my presence to be part of the community and see what I could do in order to help out the community. But I'm a Libra. My mind might change next year. My shit's constantly changing. I'm gonna always go towards what works for me. And what works for me is supporting my people, like Megan, supporting you, supporting Food once he runs for political position, and whoever else decides to go. But thank you all so much. If anybody got anything else they want to add, if y'all want to drop where people could follow you, where people could see what you're working on, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do it. Lou, you could go first.
I love you guys. Y'all know where to follow me.
Yeah.
Tone, make sure you big up the goddamn website. Don't the app. Don't mess around.
Oh yeah. I'll yeah. Oh damn. Okay, I guess I'm gonna, no, hold on. Yeah, I was gonna say I did want to just share a final thought about to conservatives. One of the advantages that the political left has, you can say it's a negative, but at the same time it's a positive, right? They operate as a hive mind. But the thing is, when they operate as a hive mind, that it signals something. They are very coordinated and they are very organized. I do not see anywhere near that level of coordination on the right. And that is why they continue to win every time. It's the collect. Now, we know collectivism is an issue, but we should try to engage in a different sort of collectivism. One that builds a coalition where you all work together and try to use some of the strategies that they use, because I see a lot of people who operate as individuals. Even when I look at the content creators out here, a lot of brilliant content creators out here, conservative content creators, a lot of them don't even talk to each other. They're kind of in their own little, their segments over here. Everyone's in their silos over there. And I just think with all of the brilliant people that I've seen, it would be amazing to see more of this. More of these creators come together, share your videos, do these panels, do reels, whatever it is, because I'm telling you, even with the level of censorship that we have been experiencing over the past few years, we're still making a huge impact. And you just don't want that to be reversed just like that, because I'm promising you, if the Democrats, they sweep the midterms, y'all not ready for what's coming.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, you really not. Anybody else got any final thoughts?
Well, I was going to agree with Tony. I mean, we are so, as conservatives, opposed to being part of a cult and group thinking. But what we haven't realized is there is a psychological effect that the Democrats have mastered. It's called the illusory truth effect. So that's why they will gather their message. They will push it out to all the creators, and they say the same thing over and over and over again. And if you don't know what that effect is, it's if something is repeated by many different people, many different times, people will believe it's true because they're hearing it everywhere. You know, and we have such a generation of people who won't go dig and do the research to find out if it's true. But if you have 40 liberal content creators on every single platform saying the exact same thing, then guess what? It has to be true. And because we are such independent thinkers, we want to push out our message, our thought, and our belief, where if we gathered together, we would probably find a very cohesive message that we could all stand on and push out to have that same effect across all the platforms. But we just don't do it. We don't do it, but you watch them doing it. I mean, I've got a video with literally 50 TV stations where they push the message out and they're saying the exact same thing. Content creators are doing that same thing. They've picked up how the media does it, and they're doing it. And if you watch any of these guys go in and debate anybody, they say the same thing. It's a mantra. They know how to argue all these things, and it's always the same sentences said over and over again. But we need to get better about that as conservatives. If we don't, we're screwed.
But sweetheart, I'm gonna just share something with you. You know why a lot of content creators don't come together anymore? See, we've been there, done that. Some of us have been there, done that. We used to travel. We used to do all that back in 2020, 2021. We got fucked over by people on the right. We got fucked over by our fellow conservatives, where you have a meetup and then people would have their hidden phones recording private conversations of people, this and that. We've had people on the right call CPS on one another. Like some of the things that you guys are wanting to do, y'all have no idea what we've already been there, done that. I mean, to this day, you still got conservatives using other conservatives so that they could make their platform grow. Meanwhile, they do nothing but this on an app, but they don't do nothing behind the scenes. See, there's a difference in what we did in 2021, 2022, and the doxing that we went through. Everything that you guys enjoy today, we set those platforms up. We put in that work back then, only to get fucked over by our own side. And there's why you see some people on the app that just do live. They don't do lives. They just post their content and then they bounce. They don't do lives anymore. They don't do meetups anymore. They don't advocate for it. They're like, no, screw all that. And that is because back then you had individuals in the name of a movement be personal. And when they got personal, and then one clique started and another clique started, and I'm going to block this guy in the name of the movement. No. So there's a reason why they don't do that shit no more. There's a reason why I won't do that shit no more. There's things that y'all don't know about what we went through that you guys that just got here the last 2 years have no clue.
Yeah, you definitely spilled some tea over that one. But you know what was crazy is I spoke to somebody. I was talking to Ace a couple of days ago. He said the same thing. He said the same thing that you just said. That's why it's crazy you said that. I particularly, this is the people I usually talk to.
I'm fucked up.
Wait, I'm sorry, but that's social media. That's people. That's the left. That's the right. And you know, I get it. You're saying been there, done that, but there must be coordination. Yeah. I mean, we all have our anecdotal experiences. We all go through, you know, trauma or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, just learn from that. Learn from whoever those people are who are snakes and move on to the people like myself.
And like me.
Like me. Hey.
Well, I was going to name y'all, but y'all yeah. Well, I'm saying it doesn't have to be everyone. But if you build it, even if it's just with a select group of people, others will come. So I just don't want us to be, feeling like speaking from a position of, being defeated or, oh, no, we give up, because this is exactly what the left wants. And if there is any political movement that is vicious, there's none more vicious and animalistic and barbaric than what I see happens politically on the political left. They eat their own. So listen, bro, this is not going to happen unless there is coordination and people working together. That's just how it works. And
Lou, I'm saying this to you as a man. Like, seriously, we've been on lives before, and I know Tony know what's up with me too. My man, I got your motherfucking back. Like, fuck that. I don't do that. That's that girl shit. I'm good. And the power, because I've watched your videos when you were very, very vulnerable. I already respected you, but when I saw that, I was like, damn. So me seeing that part of you, I'm loyal. Fuck all that, because like he said, those are the fucking social media politicians and all that shit. Fuck all that. Meetups and everything. We've been talking about this, but it needs to be the real ones that actually want to affect change, because that's that bullshit. Like for me, seeing who you are as an individual and you saying that's hurtful than a motherfucker, because you put your all into this, and that's grimy as hell. But that shows that people not serious about this. All they want to do is fucking talk.
No. Yeah, no. What I'm saying, guys, that listen, you want to have meetups, have them. Get better at it. Just get better. Just prepare yourself for what's coming down the pipe. because the way you move isn't how other people move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to keep in mind in that. And when we first started out on this platform back in 2020, because I've been here since 2018, the end of 2018, where I used to talk about men's mental health, veteran talk, PTSD, anxiety, depression, all of it. I've been here. And then I got told I couldn't wear a MAGA hat because I was brown. That's when I started being vocal about politics on this app. Never did I think it would get me the platform that I got today. I mean, it is what it is, but there were just learning curves of what we went through back then and what some of you may possibly go in the future, you know. But that being said, this is the longest Mexican goodbye ever. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Lou, so much for taking time to come over. Like y'all are like big time for me. Yeah, I just want to say that. Like, but it's amazing to call you all peers. You and Tony L and Food. Like we've evolved so much from when I first met you all. So I just want to say I'm grateful for you all. Shiny D, thank you so much for taking the time to be a part. I know this ain't really your thing, but I'm so grateful that I feel like I've learned another side of you. And just so you know, you got my contact information. You can call me anytime. We can have some lunch, and like you can talk to me about anything. I'm an open book. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, I'm always here for you, Gen X, Shannon, my sister from another
Yes.
sister.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to come up tonight. I've missed doing lives with you guys. That's people who listen. My first live was with Unplugged and Pretty up there. I never, and they invited me up on the panel. I've been liking all of Foo's posts and stuff, and he invited me up. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go up. I've never done a live before. So he encouraged me to get out there and start doing what I do. And if he hadn't done it, I certainly wouldn't be sitting on Nana's panel every morning doing what I do. So, and that's what I'm doing right now, researching voter laws in certain states. So I'll have my shit together.
Y'all see how God is shining in, messing up my little panel lights? You can see the light just coming in because this is something that we hopefully, you know what I mean, we could get more conversations like this from other content creators. Like we all don't have to agree on everything. Tonight just proves something. We may not all agree with everything. You know, we don't all see things the same, but maybe unity
Y'all
isn't
be good,
about
guys.
agreement.
Appreciate y'all.
Maybe unity isn't about agreement. Maybe it's about whether we're willing to listen, to challenge ourselves, and still respect each other anyway. That to me is unity. I don't know about the next person, but hey, I just want to say thank you all so much. Fu, my co-host, unapologetically G. Is there anything y'all want to say? Any last thoughts?
I just want to say to keep conscious in the front of your mind to lead with your insides and not your skin color.
222 on a dot. And she said that, by the way. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Shani D, anything you want to say?
Like you said, it's not really my realm normally, but I am firm in my beliefs and I speak my mind in person often. So this was nice. I appreciate you guys bringing me on, letting me expand a little bit of my thoughts. My final thought is I'm not obviously in politics, and it would be very hard for me to get into it given my career. But I just want to tell anybody else that's still listening, even if politics isn't your thing, but you're still part of the conservative movement, which I've been for many years, hit it on the ground, hit it on the grassroots. Start talking to your kids. That's where I'm at. I'm not a big vocal person, online because of my career, but in real life, in reality, to your family, people are uninformed. They're definitely misguided by propaganda and the internet. So you need to tell them and start teaching people to open their eyes, to start researching, to start looking into these things. That's really the most important thing to me. Is tell people to start doing their own research. Yeah, they may not want to do the work, but you can help them. Definitely help them along the way. If they don't want to get out there, we ain't out there protesting. We can at least give the energy to start talking to our people.
Yeah. I agree.
There's nothing to protest against. That's that side. All they do is protest against.
Those ain't protests, those parades and get-togethers and meetups.
Yeah, no doubt, and paid. But their message is always anti.
It might be something else. I saw a man in assless chaps with a flame getting blown out his ass at one of these protests. So it might be a whole lot more. The after hours might be freakier than a Luke's Peep Show.
Diddy parties. Diddy parties.
Man, Diddy parties, yo. Oh, well, listen, y'all, we gonna end this. We never end at 2 hours, but like I'm still grateful that everybody came through. We're gonna get up out of here. Listen, thank you all so much for joining the live. We'll be back here next Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The light is blinding my eyes right now, and I'm not sure why it's out at 7:25, but I'm going to say thank you, God, for allowing us to have this amazing conversation, and see you all next time on the Realist Lounge, where culture meets context. Peace out.
See ya.
Later.
Shannon Nicole, where culture